What? My clients are not following through and I'm not getting the testimonials and it is frustrating. Yes, I know the feeling. Hi, fellow Coach Phill here. Welcome. In this video, I want to talk about how you help your clients to get results by holding them accountable. Now, I've been around for a long time. Okay, I started off as a public speaker, and then I went into team buildings, and then I went into coaching and executive coaching, and I did that for a long time. And I was playing at the highest level ever in this world. And when I started off as you know how you act. You act like when you've just started off, you want to please people. You want to make sure that you retain the business, because in those days, one customer. Getting one customer was like the real thing. You want to treat them with soft hands, and you can't annoy them. You'd even tolerate being interrupted while you spoke. While you're teaching, like you have 300 people in a room, and the big boss puts up their hand while you're in the flow, and they would interrupt you. And you now, down deep inside, from your coaching, from your training as an amazing public speaker, you know that interruption is a problem. You don't need it, because it's going to break your flow and it's going to break the rapport with the audience. However, because of the fear of annoying your client, guess what? You have to stop and listen to them, and they say some bullshit, and then they probably take you off topic. They disagree with you. Therefore, you end up losing the entire audience simply because you are attempting to please your client rather than attempting to help them to be better. Helping your clients to be better also means that you have got to set a higher standard for them. You have got to demand a little bit more from them. The discipline of execution does not sometimes require being a nice guy. Okay, so what does that got to do when you get into the coaching client side of things? Listen, there must be rules of engagement from the beginning of those sessions. When you do sign on with me, I'll give you a great example. You want to become a world-class consultant? Great. Listen, I'm going to give you everything that I can in terms of tools and knowledge and everything that you need for you to be able to work, to become one. And what I'm going to give you works because I have used it elsewhere and it works amazing. Your part is to implement, is to execute, is to get feedback, is to get clarity where you don't understand. Most importantly, is to keep working until we get to the agreed goal. That means I have a part to play, you have a part to play. We have no excuses. We have no time to whinge and bitch and whatever. We can have conversations about where you're not having a great day. That is okay. But we don't have sessions for bitching and mourning and finding out what is wrong with the world. No, we have to remain focused. Now, if I do have that kind of conversation with you at the beginning of the session, then you know exactly what is expected of you. All right. The reason that your clients will not take action, the reason that your clients are not doing what you have asked them to do, is because most of the time, from the beginning, there was no clarity of rules of engagement. All right. Now, the reason you do that is not because you want to be hard, but those rules of engagement ensure that people do what they have to do. Most of the time, the guys will not follow through because they are not following the rules. They were not clear on what the rules and or what their part is. Now, number two, I'll tell you, the people who want to actually do the work, if you do your niching well and you're attracting the right people do not actually need rules of engagement because they're hungry. They just want to get in. They just want to do the work. Okay. The people who really need the rules of engagement are those guys, and you can tell from the start, they have too many questions, they don't want to pay in full, they have all these kind of excuses. So recently I had to, somebody was in the call, in the course, and I had to knock them out. Okay. Why? Number one, they were not paying in full. Those are mistakes that I made a long time ago where people, were not paying full. Number two, they always had an excuse for not doing the work. Every time they say, oh, maybe I need to go back to fundamentals. Maybe I said, follow the system. I've been here. I said, do you want results? Yes, you came to me because you want results. Absolutely. So follow the freaking system. Okay. Number two, do what I've asked you to do and then call me back and then we can find out where the challenges are. But she kept on finding, oh, maybe I need to go back to fundamentals. And this was the biggest challenge. She would then go and look at everybody else, compare herself to everybody else, and then come back and say, yeah, but so-and-so is doing this and so-and-so. I told her the problem is you're comparing yourself to everybody else instead of doing what you have to do. Focus on what you have to do. Let's follow through the system and you will be able to get the results that you need. So If your clients are not doing what they have to do, it's because you're not holding them accountable. For example, when we do the onboarding in the World Class Consultants with Audacity 100K coaching program, when we do the onboarding, my first call is about rules of engagement. It's about what I expect of you. And I also give you what we call the monthly warm-up. And I say, this is what we're going to follow. In week 1, you got to do this. In week 2, you got to do this. In week 3, you got to do this. Okay. Now, at the end of week 1, you must have accomplished A, B, C, D. Now, before we have our accountability call, I will send you a message to remind you, hey, you were supposed to do this and this and this and this. Have you done it? Okay. Now, if you come on the first day, on the first accountability session, and you haven't done what you said you were going to do, then, we have the in your face conversation, because I tell you, hey, I am not going to come on and have these conversations with you. It doesn't matter if you've paid me or not. What matters is, are you doing what you say you were supposed to do? And then I would say, come on, I encourage you. I will give you might give me some bullshit excuse. I'll say, come on, let's do something. Find time. Next week is going to be great. Then I'll lift your spirit. Then we live. If you do it the second week, I will tell you, okay, I will not talk to you next week until you send me what you've done. Because in 3 weeks, what is going to happen is, if they're not doing what they are supposed to do, they're not going to get the success that they need. Therefore, you're not going to get the results. If you don't get the results, you don't get the testimonial. You don't get testimonial. You don't build trust. Therefore, you don't have a business. All right. But most importantly, sometimes it is about going and dealing with people's limiting beliefs and their challenges and what's going on in their head and what is preventing them from showing up. Okay. And if you deal with that directly and you say, hey, come on, let us talk about why you came into the course in the first place. Oh, I want to change this. I want to change that. Okay. If you want to do that now, why are you not doing it? How does you not showing up align with what you said you wanted? So who is lying to who? Okay. And those conversations will get them to reflect sometimes, say, you know what? Damn, I better show up, because your job is to help them to perform. Your job is to help them to do what they have to do. So not only will I hold them accountable, not only will I have rules of engagement, I will also punish them for not coming through. Now, you might say, oh, coach, guys are paying you. Damn straight, they're paying me to deliver. They're not paying me to be nice to them. Okay. Some people just need somebody to kick their ass, and probably they're paying you for that. Some of them just need encouragement. Some of them just need cheerleading. Okay. Now, of course, on the other hand, when they do something amazing, I am the biggest cheerleader. I'm going to say, well done. I'm going to celebrate them like crazy. If they're not doing, then I'm also going to be the guy who comes back and brings out the stick. Why? Your job as a coach, speaker, consultant, trainer is to help your clients to achieve their goals. Period. You must agree. What are the goals? What are the timelines? What are the repercussions? If you don't do, what happens? That conversation is important, especially at the beginning of this relationship. And when you get that right, bingo, everything else falls in place. When they understand that they have a responsibility to play by themselves, it becomes an amazing relationship, because you do your part, you show up for them, you come with great energy, you give them what they need. All they have to do is to implement. And when that happens, everything goes to the next level. So I hope that serves you. I hope that helps you how to help your clients, or how to hold your clients accountable. Most importantly, how do you help them to make progress on their goals, and how do you help them to get the results that they're looking for? That is one way to think about it. So until next time, I want you to know that, yes, you have the audacity to live life on your terms, building a business of impact long term, so that when you leave, there is an indelible mark to say that person, that lady, that man was here. Until then, peace.